the issue is we don't want to be deceived. You know what I mean? So we don't want to be replaced.
Right.
And you see what I'm saying?
For sure.
We don't want somebody to misrepresent and say this isn't AI. We want full disclosure.
Yeah.
And that's the human part of us.
I mean, like, there was pretty hectic debate right now going on with Timbaland and AI and the first artist that he signed. But I think there's just even a more macro conversation. I think that's like a micro part of it. But there's a lot going on with with
Gen AI?
artificial intelligence, where there's a lot of conversations happening right now around it. And there's a doomer type of conversation. And then there is the ones who are, I don't want to say proactive, but looking at it to see, like, what can I do with this? Then there's another conversation that is happening quietly behind closed doors where everybody's kind of using it, but not really talking about it publicly. Where are you at when it comes to Gen AI?
I am very, I love Gen AI.
Okay.
I do. I love using it. Right. I like creating on it.
Okay.
I'm very optimistic. I do know that there will be some unintended negative byproducts. And I think that we should be proactive in, you know what I mean? See what I'm saying? In terms of how we utilize Gen AI to our advantage, or if Gen AI can be weaponized, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Right? So is that we be in conversation. But okay, this is where I am with Gen AI. Is the doomsday people, I think that their fears, I respect the fears, but as a community, as a culture, we cannot allow those fears to overshadow, you know what I mean, the potential. You see what I'm saying? To distract us from what's actually possible. To distract us from the good that can come out of this technology. Is you're right. There are a lot of people who use the technology and who don't say, right?
So yeah.
It's like BBLs. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
you know, they're out there,
but you know, yeah. Hair transplants, or you know what I mean? Or a little,
we know you went to Istanbul.
Yeah. Or
but why?
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like this. So or even if I have gray hair, I'll put some dye. But this is Ozempic, like so that part is reality in the culture. So there's a little bit of hypocrisy going on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I remember that video of the guys criticizing me, saying, I use for writing, but I don't think it should be used for music.
I see that one.
I forwarded it to you on Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did I watch it?
Oh, you didn't watch it?
No, for sure. No, for sure I watched it.
I sent it to you.
No, for sure I watched it if you said it.
Wait. But this is the deal.
I want to take a quick break in the pod right now and talk to you guys about something I think could be of importance to you. If you're listening to this pod and thinking, I could really use some personal guidance right now, and you're serious about building your career in the music business, I'm now offering one-on-one private strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your music career. Listen, this is the part where you might be thinking to yourself, who the heck is this guy? Well, I got over 17 years of experience in the music business, whether it was working as a manager with artists like Jessie Reyes, or working with major record labels like Island, Republic, Universal Music Group, or Sony, or producing content for high-profile artists like The Weeknd and Eminem, to producing content for elite brands like the NBA and Nike. I can definitely and confidently say I can help you map out your next moves. Whether you want to talk about structuring your team, navigating the industry, scaling your brand, or just simply learning how to make money in this music business, whatever's most relevant to where you're at, let's talk. You can now book for a fee a one-on-one session with me, an artist manager and a podcast host, to help you figure out your next steps. Find the link in the description below to book a one-on-one consultation session. Also, big shout out to those who watch this podcast. Bringing value to an audience who seeks it is a blessing. I can't thank you enough for tuning in. I appreciate you. Now let's get back to the pod.
So there's that part. I do believe. Yes.
Yes.
That's it. That's the
This is
video.
the conversation. That's
the video. That's the exact video. So there was a little bit of hypocrisy because the person is attacking Gen AI on music, but they're not. And then this admitting that they use Gen AI for writing. You see what I'm saying?
That's what he's right.
I was
That's
like,
right.
what is this? I was like, what is this? All right, so this is the deal. There has to be a proactivity in terms of us staying ahead because we know what's going to happen, and we've. Do you remember when Auto-Tune came out?
That's how I think about it.
Yeah, people were mad.
I think Auto-Tune, Melodyne, all those kind of.
Well, I don't even know what Melodyne is. What is that?
I'm pretty sure Melodyne is essentially correcting the pitch of a.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So like if you can't hit a certain note, Melodyne will fix it and you won't even know. It's just like what Britney Spears was using in 97, 98.
Oh, really?
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, no, I didn't.
It's essentially Auto-Tune.
Yeah, well, people were mad. You remember that?
But Auto-Tune.
Do you remember? There were whole songs about it.
Yeah, Death of Auto-Tune.
Yeah. People. I saw the T-Pain documentary, and dude was depressed because somebody told him he had ruined music.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, that's unfair. But this is the thing with Gen AI. Is that there's a lot of potential. I'm hearing of people who do songs in one language, and then the Gen AI changes it to another language, right? With the correct pronunciation.
Yeah.
So you're reaching a whole new audience.
Totally.
Right? With your music, your voice, your melody, your cadence, you know what I mean? Your pitch, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? You're reaching a whole new audience. There are people who are using it to for I saw this one Gen AI product. I'll never forget. I was in New Orleans. Musa, Currency's manager, he showed it to me, where the Gen AI was separating stems, and it was editing radio, like doing the radio edits, like taking out all the curse words. It was the acapella.
Yeah.
It was transcribing the lyrics.
Yeah.
It was doing all these things to make something radio friendly. I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool.
That's
like,
sick.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. You know what I mean?
That's sick.
Yeah. It is. So I think people are afraid of being replaced. And which is a legitimate fear, but they can't get mad at somebody utilizing it because you know what? They can use it too.
But let me just play devil's advocate because both you and I are executives essentially in the business. We're not actually creators, so we're not musicians.
Yeah.
Right. We don't. Although I know that there was a world where you were a rapper at one point.
Man, we're not a real one. Like,
I mean, but B2B exists, and we're gonna find those mixtapes. But so the argument as well from artists and musicians who are trying to figure out, they're saying, I don't want to learn a prompt. I learned how to play this guitar. I learned how to play these drums. I learned how to produce over the last 10 years. And now all of a sudden, the 10 years that I've been creating this music and just building out, anybody can do it with a prompt. How is that fair?
Yeah, but was it fair when somebody was sampling a record, a DJ was playing a record, and somebody who'd spent a whole 20 years learning how to play the guitar or the drums or, the live band, and then all of a sudden a DJ is coming out and, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And playing a record and sampling and looping their record. Was that fair?
Right.
This has happened before, right?
We don't look at DJs today and say, like, oh, they're butchering the...
And back then they were saying that. And back then they were saying that rappers weren't singing. Like, I did vocal training, I sang in church, et cetera, and you're out here talking rhymes and selling records?
Yeah.
Like, no, that's...
You're saying words, you're not singing.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, so is it...
You think it's just like humans that are, the constant change is too fast right now at this point? That might be just...
That might be where the fears are coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're like, okay, this is happening so fast, I haven't had the time to prepare or to, you know what I mean? Or to create, but the technology is available to everybody.
Yeah.
So you're getting mad. And also, by the way, maybe this is when live music arises. Maybe there's a whole movement where people just like the real stuff, just the same way we like organic milk now or organic chicken or
Couldn't agree.
Yeah. Maybe this is the time where that does exist, but it'll be treated like fast food. You know what I mean? Fast food is popular, but people want a home cooked meal. People want that restaurant that the chef, you know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe that's what the time where we're going to. Maybe that's just gonna make everything else bigger, or the quote unquote real
performers are gonna thrive.
Exactly. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment because I think of it that way where we're always so constantly on our phones. Just like now, this is like, for some people, unfortunately, this is God. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
it's so
so
sad.
it is sad. But now, guess what? Like, if there's an IRL experience, like I'll give you a perfect example. Kai Cenat,
Yeah,
he's I would say the biggest superstar in the world right
yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah,
arguably,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But guess what? When he went outside and he told people his coordinates in New York City, he caused a riot and it was
I remember that.
15,000
Yeah, in
people
Union Square, I saw that. Yeah,
because people wanted to see him.
yeah,
So it's
that
similar,
was wild.
wild to see that this kid who's a streamer shut down New York City like the Beatles would have shut down back in the day.
Yeah, no, no.
But that's because you get to experience him in the flesh IRL. Now I think there was like a component of he was giving away PlayStations, but still you're going there to see him, right?
But if you so, I'm glad you brought the Kai Cenat thing up because even those guys, all those kids who showed up, they connected with him,
Yes.
right? Even if they've never seen him in person in real life. To me, it reminds me of the photograph where there was a time where people thought photos had to be paper. I remember a journalist saying, "Oh no, people always want to read the newspaper. They want to hold the magazine. You know what I mean? They want to look at that. It was unfathomable for them to think that there's going to be a time where people were okay without the printed version, right?
Yes.
The real version, the image."
Yeah.
And it's the memory. There was the moment that was captured. That's the part that connected. It's just, it could be same thing with music. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Where if I make great music through prompts, I'm not saying that there's somebody out there that's possible. We're not saying the technology is there yet.
Well, I mean, Timbaland is
Yeah,
he just quote unquote signed a AI artist, which I don't all the way understand what that means.
yeah.
To me, it just means that he's 100%er on the record now. But
So,
go ahead.
so I don't know if you saw. I posted in my story, and Timbaland actually reposted it. In 1969, the number one record in the country was from a band that didn't exist. And it was the Archies. The sugar,
Oh,
da, 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 oh, honey, honey, da,
really?
da, da. It was the Archies comic.
Oh,
You are my candy girl. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I know the record.
Yeah, that was a big record. It was number one record. Archies were a comic strip. It was animation,
Hmm.
right? But even when we watch whatever Aladdin or all these, what's the Moana or what's the we don't think about Bruno.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
that? What's that cartoon? My nephews love it.
Which
We don't
I
think
don't
about Bruno. What was it? What is it called?
I don't know.
Canto.
Encanto. Yeah,
Encanto. Oh,
yeah.
right.
We watch the animation and we enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
you should say, because we know it's animation. We watch WWE and we enjoy it, and we know that's not real.
It's predetermined.
Yeah, we know it. But the thing is because we know it. So culturally, we may also get to that point where we just understand this is AI, but it's very well done AI. You see what I'm saying? The issue is we don't want to be deceived. You know what I mean? So we don't want to be replaced.
Right.
And you see what I'm saying?
For sure.
We don't want somebody to misrepresent and say this isn't AI. We want full disclosure.
Yeah.
And that's the human part of us.
I think something that you said to me is actually pretty profound. And I think about it is that, like, I want to make sure I say this the correct way, but a lot of times we can get into these kinds of conversations and arguments in our culture, and it does kind of keep us a step behind, which is unfortunate because there is another culture that will say, we don't give a damn. We're going to move forward with this. And then we get left behind in
Yeah,
this
that's dangerous.